Harshest environment in the world, the frozen continent, a land where strutting penguins and barking seals brave the coldest of winters and screaming catabatic winds. These were the images of Antarctica engraved on my mind, drawn from the nature programs that tell stories of early explorers like Ernest Shackleton, who conquered the white continent. To step on the continent of Antarctica was a dream come true.
Hello, Antarctica! Snowflakes and all.
To walk in the footsteps of legendary scientists, brave the elements like an intrepid explorer, and to catch a glimpse of unique wildlife frolicking between majestic icebergs, that's the stuff of dreams.
Hey Judy, you ready?
Yeah, man, Pedro, where we going?
A cold, cold place.
Oh, me ready. You ready?
Grab your jacket and let's go.
Waking up to the stark, sheer beauty of the ice capes all around me, an albatross gliding on the wind, and scores of people peering over the railings to see whales breaching in the distance, man, that was the perfect way to start my trip. Icebergs, bergy bits, ice floes, and other ice capes make it dangerous to cruise the waters. This is why an ice master was mandatory on the ship that I was on. He is the captain in charge once we enter the ice fields. Small-sized ships with limited passenger loads means that the human footprint and the impact on the continent is so much less than any other regular tourist destination. In 2007, approximately 20,000 people traveled to the continent. In 2019, an estimated 44,000 people visited. When you consider that even relatively small islands like Jamaica received more than 3 million visitors in the same year, you can see why I felt privileged to be among the few to walk in the shoes of great explorers. Zodiac boats take turns ferrying passengers so that very few people are on the land at any one time, lessening the impact even further. We learn that we are in their territory, the animals' territory, and that the penguins have right of way. And penguin police stand at the ready to remove anyone who dares to interfere with the wildlife. Antarctica is pristine and beautiful beyond belief. The stark black mountains contrast with ever-present white snow, and the air is so clear you can see miles away. The sunsets, the sunsets are spectacular. The scientists who occupy the Chilean station during the austral summer and the cruise lines that visit the area are very protective of the continent. As the global warming debate rages on, the spotlight continues to shine on the dire consequences of human action on our planet. An area often left out of debate is the South Pole. Perhaps because it is among the least visited destinations in the world. It may be also because it's uninhabited by humans for most of the year, or its sheer vastness and seemingly never-ending ice sheet evokes invulnerability. Yet, Antarctica holds many keys to the mysteries of Earth, locking away secrets beneath layers of ice as thick as a mile. Over 80% of the world's ice is found in Antarctica. Let that sink in. If all that ice were to melt, there would be 6 times more water on the planet than currently exists. Let that sink in.
Every second, 3 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of ice is disappearing from Antarctica.
Glacier ice is delicious, by the way. I had a little piece. But Antarctica is the last great frontier. It is the last unspoiled place on Earth. At least it should be, but for the effects of climate change.
The cause is warming ocean waters, and the ice melt has implications for sea level rise well beyond the South Pole region.
According to one recent study, the continent's ice is slipping away 6 times faster than it was 40 years ago.
On board with me were Dr. Peter Carey and Dr. Craig Franklin, both world-renowned zoologists and experts on the continent's wildlife, having made over 400 trips as guides. Even back then, they remarked on the effects of the warming oceans resulting in retreating glaciers and slow melting. Far from affecting only the landscape, however, the wildlife is also at risk.
This warming environment threatens 2 species of penguins.
International scientists who use the Chilean research station on Paradise Island as their base can attest to the effects of the size of the penguin colonies. Some of them are getting smaller and some of them are moving. Walking around the base, carefully avoiding the residents, I learned about the work being done to track the tuxedoed birds, the information about the planet buried deep within the layers of snow and ice, and the history of expeditions, successful and failed. In February 2007, I visited the White Continent and returned with an appreciation for its role in keeping our world intact. The direct impacts of melting glaciers on rising seas and flooded cities can no longer be disputed.
A state of emergency in the beautiful Italian city of Venice. Exceptional flooding from high tides, the worst in 50 years.
As I write, eastern Canada and the northeast coast of the USA are undergoing record cold, with each year seemingly worse than the year before. In summer of 2019, Hurricane Dorian pummeled Abaco and Grand Bahama Islands in the Bahamas for 2 full days. Our climate is in trouble. Our very existence on this planet